Including that crappy Batman Harley Quinn thing we watched.
Oh, that was wonderful, that Batman Harley Quinn thing. That was
sucked on ice.
Yeah, we just watched that about 2 weeks ago. For the first time. It's been out a while. We watched that.
Horrible.
And that thing was just god-awful. I couldn't believe how far Bruce Timm has fallen. And it was Bruce Timm. It wasn't anybody else.
No, yeah, Bruce Timm working on it.
That was his. Talk about, I'm going to toss this one off, and not give a damn about what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Loser, loser, loser. Ha!
Oh, you should put that speech on tape.
He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
Hello, Chicago, hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Got a drink to that?
Welcome to Alternate Reality.
What would you do if God friended you?
Not watch that show.
Not watch that show. Why not?
Because it's a stink of cancellation.
The stink of cancellation? What are you talking about? You've got a fine-looking young African-American gentleman. He gets friended by God, and he's outperforming miracles.
Yeah, saving
people from getting run over by trains.
Yeah, saving Jesse Quick. Yeah,
Was that who it was? Jesse Quick.
Jesse Quick.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
She left it for that.
You know what I'd do if I got a friend request from God? I'd dump it. I assume it was some psycho.
Why would God have a cell phone?
I would assume it was a psycho.
Why does God have a cell phone?
There's a story in there about a psycho who goes around pretending to be God, friending people, and then cutting them up and burying them in their basement.
It wouldn't make him God.
That would make a great detective story.
Okay, yeah. I don't think so.
Oh, well. When are you going to Vegas next?
October the 11th.
Ah, it's coming up.
Yes, a month from Thursday.
And why the hell do you go there again? We talked about this about 20 shows
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
Rodney was just there. I guess he's still in the airport.
You know what?
What?
You're correct. You are absolutely correct.
Oh, no, he's out of the airport.
Rodney is still there. Hey, folks, Comicbookman. And this is another episode of The Alternate Reality, coming to you from the Palatial Studios Alternate Reality Complex.
What?
Here at 3149 West 111th Street in beautiful downtown
Is that
Mount
like the
Greenwood.
Hardy compound?
Alternate Reality, where all your new comics 15% off every day for everyone. I'm Comic Book Man, like I said, and I'm being joined today by that expatriate from Las Vegas, Bocepheus. Say hi, Bo.
How you doing, kids?
We got no Rodney with us today. Rodney is stuck at an airport.
Well, no, he was stuck at an airport. If he's still there now, then he's really screwed.
Rodney was stuck at an airport waiting for his flight out from where?
How do you miss a flight?
Where?
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Everybody goes to Vegas but me.
You get there an hour and a half before the plane takes off. You sit there to tell you when you get on the plane. You get on the plane. How do you miss a flight?
He missed a flight or his flight was late?
He missed a flight. That's what he said.
What? Did he have to buy a new ticket?
If he went Southwest, no.
I really don't know. I mean, if you miss a flight, is it like...
That would dual the airport.
Like, you got to buy another plane ticket, or?
If you miss the flight, they'll make some kind of arrangement. If he's flying out of there later, he may have to pay extra. But if you flew Southwest, then I think you just call him and go, "Hi, I missed my flight," and you go, "Okay, we'll fix that."
Well, that's sad. That's sad.
I mean,
he was with the missus, right?
I have no idea.
He didn't say?
He didn't say. Oh, he's stuck in the airport. So I told him, don't gamble while you're sitting there.
So he went to Vegas by himself.
I don't think he went there by himself.
Oh. Who else did he go with?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Oh, one of those. One of those. Well, you know what they say. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, he said he was standing outside the Manly Band looking up. Said, it's really weird. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of where the guy was shooting people.
Well, you said it was, what was it? You mentioned to him that it's a time machine or something, or it's a time capsule, or, well, I know in Vegas that they tear stuff down all the time.
Yeah.
That they're constantly rebuilding out there.
Yeah.
But you were talking about the architecture from one of the places. It was a throwback to the 60s or something.
There's a couple of
They still hadn't gotten around to tearing it down yet. It was built in the 60s.
There's a couple of throwback stuff out there. There's a lot of older hotels that are being remodeled, and a lot of them get knocked down. And so.
Yeah.
Everything's new, and everything's old, and everything's new, and everything. And there's always stuff coming up. It's always construction. Want a job? Construction? Move to Vegas.
Yeah, construction jobs in Vegas, I guess, are not hard to find.
No, they're not.
Because they always seem to be building out there.
No, they're building something that will be done in 2020. You can probably make money, tons of money if you're out there.
Anyway, this is going to be an all-news update of the alternate reality. It has nothing to do with Vegas. It's just where Rodney is exiled. We hope he's back by now.
He should be back by now.
And as always, with news, we're going to start off with DC, comic book news. First story up, Deepwater. Oh, there's a crossover coming in the DC universe. Actually, it's started. Is it started?
It's in
already?
the new previews. It's crossover lasts a whole month.
Well, it's not. It's nothing to do with Sync Atlantis.
No,
this is after.
No,
Sync Atlantis.
it's after Sync Atlantis.
Okay, it is coming up. And it's going to be all about the Justice League drowned Earth. Yeah. They're drowning the Earth?
Apparently, yes.
So Atlantis comes up out of the water, and the Suicide Squad sinks it. And so what? Atlantis gets pissed off and decides to drown the Earth?
Something happened. Two members of the Legion of Doom, Cheetah and Black Manta killed the god Poseidon.
How do these two mopes manage to kill a god?
That will be the part of the story. This happens in Justice League 8, and his death will cause a disruption, which brings back sea gods back to the Earth, who will be carrying dark water that will turn regular people into aquatic, monstrous versions of themselves.
One of the problems I've come across with Scott Snyder's work on Justice League is he seems to be taking all these concepts that would be earth-shattering, Crisis on Infinite Earths type concepts, and he's throwing them away in like issues of Justice League as afterthoughts almost. I mean, think about that. You've got Black Manta and Cheetah killing the god. Sea god, Poseidon.
Yes.
That's like saying Crossbones and Baron Zemo go to Asgard and kill Odin.
Yeah, kill Odin.
I mean,
how?
That makes no sense.
How did you do that?
I'm sure it'll make sense in the story, but I mean, it makes no sense doing that, and it seems sort of pointless to me. Poseidon is such a throwaway god.
You can kill him. Two mopes can kill him.
Yeah, two mopes can sneak in and slit his throat, and okay, well, he's dead. Moving on to the next one. They aren't much in the way of gods, are they?
Well, they're pretty weak gods.
Well, apparently, even though they're the gods of the seven seas,
they're low rent gods. Apparently.
So all these other guys are going to come out of the woodwork to take Poseidon's place and to wreak their vengeance and extract revenge.
Forgotten god.
So is this going to be one of those things where we're going to kill Black Manta and Cheetah off and they'll be back in 7 issues?
No. Although you'll have weird versions of like the Flash. He'll turn into this Aqua Flash and stuff like that.
Aqua Flash.
Yeah, it's a 1 month arc though. It's real silly. It's like, it's a big event. It only takes a month.
Again, they're throwing this away on a 1 month story arc.
See,
this is the stuff that bothers me.
You get a bookend, you get 2 issues of Justice League and an issue of Aquaman, and it's over with.
They tried a thing called War of the Gods back in the 80s that totally went off the rails because of George Perez and his scheduling problems. But that's the type of thing that they'd stretch out for a 5-issue big event, because that's what War of the Gods was. It was a big event. Didn't turn out that way, but a big event miniseries.
This is 5
This
issues.
is a throwaway storyline in Justice League.
Issues.
Oh, great. 5 issues.
It's a big event.
5-issue crossover between Justice League and Aquaman.
Bookend, 2 Justice League issues, and Aquaman. 1 issue of Aquaman. Well, no, Aquaman hasn't even been launched yet, so...
I don't know.
It's Ground Earth. It's a mini event.
It's a
mini event.
So you have to look forward to. If you've been reading Batman lately, and if you've been on social media lately, which is always like wading hip deep into a swamp that you don't know what's beneath your chest level when you're walking through it, but you hope there's nothing bad there. Tom King got into some trouble about some people saying that he thought Batman was an atheist.
Yeah, Batman 53, Batman says he has no beliefs, and people went, does that mean Batman's an atheist? And King went, that's not really what I meant, but if you want to take it that way, go right ahead, but that's not really what I said. So, he's not an atheist.
What if God friended him? What if God sent him a friend request on Facebook?
Then Batman would be canceled. Now, the next big event in Batman is going to be him and Catwoman getting back together.
Well, great. Like they weren't going to in the first place.
Yeah,
which makes that whole issue build up to 50 pointless.
Well, no, the issue of 50 was basically to reestablish Bane as a big deal villain. He's the one who broke him up.
I thought it was Catwoman's girlfriend who gaslighted her into not marrying Bruce.
Yeah, but Bane was behind all this.
Okay.
This was Bane's plan. And so this will happen in Batman and Catwoman. This is the big major event. King says he's got like 100 Batman stories planned out. That's it. Only 100.
Only 100.
Only 100. So he's got 47 more to go. Ships twice a month, too, so that'll be coming up pretty quick.
Okay, so it'll be done in like 3 years.
Yeah, and then at that point, he'll probably go, okay, well, I'm leaving.
Well, the thing that bothered me about that atheist thing is not so much whether or not Batman believes in God, but if you're on the Justice League, and I've talked about this before, you're on the Justice League and you're sitting next to Azrael, who is a fallen angel from
he's
heaven.
an angel. Yeah.
Okay, and you have teamed up with the Spectre,
who works for God,
who is the spirit of God's vengeance. Very much the spirit of God's vengeance. You can go all the way back to his origin, and when Jim Corrigan gets shot and killed and put in a drum and thrown in the river, the next panel is him standing in front of the light.
Hi, how you doing, God?
And the light talking to him. Yeah, you know what? I need a spirit of vengeance on Earth. Guess what? You're picked. Oh, okay, thanks.
Thanks a lot.
And then he teams up with Batman.
Yeah.
Okay, and then on top of that, you watch multiverses die and be reborn and die and be reborn and die and be reborn. And you have no sort of belief in anything beyond yourself after that? After all that?
That's why that's why he said, no, I never said he was an atheist.
I'm not saying that Bruce Wayne feels bad when he misses church or anything, but I would think you would have some sort of spiritual underpinning for yourself after all those experiences in your life. I just guess.
He's not Daredevil, you know.
No, he's not Daredevil. He's not supposed to be. But like I said, after all the stuff he's done and all the things he's seen, to think that the character could be an atheist,
as I told you,
is either an incredibly narrow-minded view of the character or just not knowing a damn thing about what the character's done over the years.
Well, that's what he said. He said, I don't know what people are saying this. I never said he was an atheist. My thought is I never really considered the religious beliefs of any superhero because they're fictional characters.
Yeah, well, there's that too. So. I've mentioned you before, the whole Rao thing in Superman. That is always
that's a god.
That has always bothered me.
That's their god.
It's Kryptonian god. Yeah. You know, the farther you follow that down the rabbit hole, the weirder it's going to get. Supergirl, TV series, they're guilty of doing a lot of that in the last season. You know, followers of Rao and the spirit of Rao and, you know, the...
Krypton. It's all Rao.
You're getting into a territory that they probably shouldn't be fooling around with. And it was all sort of innocent enough. I don't think Rao first showed up in Superman until the early 70s. One of the writers just threw it off as a offhanded comment. Superman said, instead of Great Scott, he said Great Rao, and somebody said, what's Rao? He said, that's Kryptonian God. It's like, okay, fine. And it's sort of grown over the decades from there to actually be something, and it probably shouldn't. As soon as you start fooling around with that, you're asking for trouble.
No, involving God.
Well, yeah. When people have beliefs, people have very strongly held beliefs one way or the other concerning that. And as soon as you start pigeonholing these characters into one or the other, the most obvious version of that was when Superman of Earth 2 and Lois Lane of Earth 2 got married in that action story back in 1980 or 79 or whenever it was. And they married, they didn't have anybody presiding over it. They go to the fortress.
Drive-through chapel?
They go to Superman's fortress. It was originally the Fortress of Solitude. On Earth 2, it was the Citadel, I think, or something, of Solitude. But it's got a great big door with a big S over them. And they go in there standing on a jewel, and you know, they're reciting the vows back and forth to each other with nobody presiding over it. They're just reciting the vows back and forth to each other. Which I assume is fine. But
Jor-El's like, my son.
But that's Superman, the Earth 2 Superman, the original Superman. He's talking about, you know, by Rao, I take your hand, blah, 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 blah. I just thought that was kind of odd, too, back then. Then there was that Action Comics when it went weekly. Mm-hmm. They wanted to keep Superman in action so that they could say Superman's always been in action, but he was limited to a 2-page story every issue.
He was there.
That's when it was weekly. He was there, and that's the reason why.
Showed up.
But the storyline they did was Followers of Rao thing in Action Comics Weekly, where you had people, and sort of what they're doing on Supergirl last season. You have these human followers worshiping Superman as a god, and they're calling themselves the Followers of Rao or something. And that whole thing just got weird. And Superman has to tell him. At some point, Superman says, "Look, I'm not a god. You know, stop worshiping me. This is stupid. You know, cut it out.
Stop it.
This is not why I'm here.
Why are you doing this?
And by the way, it's my god, not yours. So stop co-opting him.
We borrowed him.
Anyway,
no copyright.
And that's your religion for today, folks. Moving on, Marvel Comics. Oh, Behold a Vision. I've heard that title before.
Yes.
Behold a Vision. Vision's getting his own miniseries?
Yes, miniseries.
It's not an ongoing.
No, it's not an ongoing.
Okay. And he's going undercover again as a human family?
He and his daughter Viv are going to Manhattan, Kansas. Not New York, Kansas. To investigate a mystery. They'll be walking around in fake skins, so they say, look, they look human.
They're going to be wearing fake skins.
Yes.
Is there going to be a lot of creepy stuff about fake skins?
I'm assuming so. It's like, okay, you're not red, you're wearing regular skins. Chelsea Kane.
Well, no, there's a whole Mission Impossible aspect there of them putting on rubber masks and stuff.
Chelsea Kane and her husband Mark Mulholland are the creative team, and some new artists who I've seen the artwork that this person's done. It's not bad looking art. But yeah, it's a limited series following up from the Tom King 12-issue maxi series that everyone went, my God, that's really good.
I forget what happened to the wife and the son, because it was a nuclear family. Vision, his wife, his daughter, and his son.
Died.
I even think there was a dog in there somewhere, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was a dog. I think the son died, didn't he?
I don't know. Well, where's the wife? Did she die too?
Really? Maybe.
Well, wasn't she the mover and the shaker in that thing, where she was the one that was actually losing it?
She was going wacky,
and she was killing people, but she wasn't. She couldn't more put her morality together. So she thought she was doing the right thing, but she was doing the wrong thing.
She had programming issues. Speaking of programming issues, the fact that Vision is dying in the regular Avengers book, that won't be part of the limited series.
Is he dying?
Yeah.
From what?
His core is deteriorating, so he said, I'm going to let myself die.
Okay, fine, whatever. We're just going to build another one anyway.
Well, yeah, just build another one. It's the Vision.
Well, it's a character that John Byrne, he did that one storyline when he went from being the three-color Vision to the white Vision, where they splayed him open and laid him out on a workbench half the size of a football field, and they're stretching all the circuits and wiring out. And they said, well, now that we've taken them all apart, let's put them back together. And when they put him back together, he's white, as in white from head to toe.
It's white Vision. The ghostly Vision.
Ghostly Vision. What is Jerry Duggan up to?
Jerry Duggan's finishing off his cosmic stuff at Marvel. He said in Infinity War, which apparently is going quite well. Is it selling?
Yeah, Infinity War's selling okay.
We found out that Gamora, of course, killed her father, which is interesting.
Yeah.
This is a plan apparently that was going on when Bendis was still working on Guardians of the Galaxy. They came up with this idea 4 or 5 years ago. Once it's over with, we'll know Loki's position in the Marvel Universe. Apparently, in the latest previews, he's creating his own Avengers team.
Well, what idea was Bendis working on 4 or 5 years ago?
Well, he was working on Guardians. He was going to hand it off to Duggan. And Duggan said, well, why don't we do this where Gamora kills Thanos? And Bendis went, it's not a bad idea. Okay, we'll run with that. So, and then after this is over with, Duggan says, I'm done with all the cosmic stuff over at Marvel. And when Infinity Wars is over with, you'll have Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw who are doing the Guardians of the Galaxy book, which will have apparently everyone who's ever been a Guardian or has ever been in space for their entire life. And in the first issue, someone's going to die.
Well, everybody's a Guardian.
Everyone's a Guardian. They're like the Avengers.
Which is with the Avengers. Yeah. If you've ever been in the Avengers, you're an Avenger. And by this point in Avengers history, just about everybody has been an Avenger. Either East Coast or West Coast or Uncanny or Assembled or whatever version of Avengers. So everybody's been an Avengers at some point.
Great Lakes, well, not them. They suck.
And Guardians are the same way. If you're a cosmic character in the Marvel Universe, you've probably been in the Guardians at some point or another, so everybody's a Guardian.
So the question is, who's he going to kill?
Who do you think?
Which Guardian?
Charlie 27.
Well, Charlie 27 will be a member of the Guardians. No, it's going to be someone. No, they actually had, when they did the illustration, it's the current team. So
who's missing?
No one. They're all there. I said, one of these members is going to die. It's going to be Rocket Raccoon.
DC's supposed to be killing someone off too.
Yeah,
that's a cover of DC Nation this month. One of these 6 characters will die in the next 5 weeks. Okay.
It's the Heroes in Crisis thing.
Yeah, it's a Heroes in Crisis.
They got to kill someone. They hired a psychiatrist to hang around the DC offices and talk to people.
Is he making any headway?
Good question.
Is he?
I don't know.
According to some of the story ideas we talked about in this podcast, I'm not sure if they've been
come in here and talk to us. Okay.
Getting any traction.
Hi, how are you doing?
Indie News. Actually, the story on this is up on the store's website.
It is.
In your news.
So it is,
in your news. Warren Ellis.
Jason Howard.
And Jason Howard.
Taking a break from trees.
They're moving from trees to...
7-issue limited series called Cemetary Beach. Mm-hmm. The story takes place over 100 years ago. He sent a ship off to colonize other worlds. And now they was like, hey, wait a minute. We sent a ship off to colonize other worlds. Where are they at? And so they send someone off to restore contact and finds the colony's full of people who are nuts. They're crazy. They're insane.
That's why it's Cemetery Beach.
That's why it's Cemetery Beach. It's a place on this planet, this colony that they're at. And then they'll come back to trees. They're taking a little break. It'll be good. It'll be on time. Apparently, Howard's already drawn 7 issues. He's already drawn 6 of them.
I think Warren Ellis has really slowed down his output over the last
Oh my God, he was working on like multiple books and and it's like boom, 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 and doing this and that, that.
He's really down to a crawl now. I mean, I can't remember what's the last issue of whatever he did that was released.
It's the Wildstorm.
Oh, the Wildstorm stuff. Yeah, that's right. Well, But that's 2 books.
Well,
we thought that's 2 lousy books, one of which was canceled. Actually, the other one's on hiatus.
Michael Cray was his idea, and he's got 2 more coming after that. But yeah, Ellis is he slowed down. He's older.
Okay.
Can't work as much as he used to.
Okay. Ideas aren't coming as fast as they used to.
No, he's probably got more ideas. He's like, I can wait on this. I can wait on that. I can work on this.
He should do more work at DC. You know why?
Why?
Got that shrink there. They could help him out.
Yeah, Warren's not good for shrinks. You're not going to be hanging out with him.
They got that psychiatrist.
Besides, he still lives overseas.
You know what Jerry Dugan wants to do, apparently, beyond working on Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
He wants to kill a rabbit.
Yes, he does.
Why does he want to kill a rabbit?
Well, he and John McCrea are working on a new book called Dead Rabbit for Image, which will have the story of a legendary thief coming out of retirement to pay his wife's medical bill.
Oh, that sounds
So
boring
basically,
as hell. He's coming out of retirement to pay his wife's medical bills.
He's the best.
Hold me back.
He's the best thief in the world. Well, thief of thieves.
Okay, Alexander Mundy, who's in retirement, comes out of retirement to pay his wife's, ex-wife's medical bill.
Apparently, he wears a mask. The character's called Dead Rabbit.
Oh, la-dee-da.
And the book's going to be set in Boston. It's going to have a very Boston-y feel about it.
Yeah.
So I guess he'll be hanging out with the Wildbaggers and hanging out at Fenway Park and stuff like that. And John McCrea's drawing it, so hey, go for it.
What was that one woman being dragged away by the police? And she's screaming into the camera, Boston strong bitches.
I'm back and cry.
That's a great representation for Boston.
Hey.
Okay, is that it for comic book news?
That's it for comic book news.
Okay, that means we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do media news. You know, folks, there really is no other store that has as many sales as Alternate Reality. Beyond our signature sale of 15% off all new comics, we also have specialized sales peppered throughout the week, month, and year. For example, did you know that every Thursday is Ladies' Day at the store? That's right, ladies. Stop by the store and you'll save 20% off all of your purchases all day long. Ladies from 8 to 80 get a 20% discount on everything all day, every Thursday, only at Alternate Reality. And we're back. Oh, Bo.
Yes?
What is up with flag planting and Neil Armstrong?
Well, you got a movie coming out, First Man, from Damon Chappelle, who did La La Land. People are outraged because the film doesn't have Neil Armstrong playing the American flag on the moon.
Who's playing Neil Armstrong in this?
Ryan Gosling. You've seen the trailer for this. It's a pretty good one. Good.
That's fair.
Yeah, but this is phony outrage. Well, we don't see him playing the flag. And they go, did you see the movie? Okay, no. You haven't seen the movie, but you're complaining about the flag. Did you see the trailer? Did you see that in the movie the flag is on the moon? Okay, we didn't see him planting it. So the flag got there by magic? So they're very upset about this. And Chappelle and Gosling said, really? Really? You complaining about something, most of which none of them have seen, unless they went to the Venice Film Festival, where it was shown. So yeah, they're complaining about the fact you don't see him actually planting the flag, even though the flag is there. They also said people who have seen the film, it's not very jingoistic. It's like it's about the astronauts working to get to the moon without dying and getting this stuff done. And apparently the film's pretty good.
Well, The Right Stuff was the same way with the Mercury astronauts.
Yeah, but the film's pretty good.
I mean, The Right Stuff wasn't very. I mean, it had a certain tone of jingoism to it, but only because the events took place in the late 50s, early 60s, and was space race against the Russians and blah 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 blah. But in and of itself, it wasn't very jingoistic.
No, it's not. It basically shows these guys working and trying to get to the moon and stuff like that. But it's not, hit you over the head with a flag and yeah. And so some people on the right side are complaining.
Well, you know what people on both sides should complain about? Yes. The fact we haven't been back there since 1971.
Well, we've already been there. We got rocks from there.
Well,
once you get rocks from the moon, there's no point. We got the rocks. What are we going to do? Hang out there? We're going to move in? Are we going to put a Starbucks up there?
Well, there were actually plans about building a moon base at one point and exploring space, and instead...
Who's going to pay for that?
And we would, just like we pay for everything else.
Like Space Force?
No, not Space Force. No, not Space Force. NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration. That was their job.
Their funding got cut.
Well, yeah, their funding got cut, and that's why we stopped going to the moon. And there's no moon bases, and there's no more shuttle, and there's no more anything else because nobody gives a damn anymore. That's what people ought to get worked up about, not whether or not you see somebody planting a flag on the moon, which you obviously don't care enough about to do any sort of real push to go back there or to do anything up there.
What are you going to do up there?
Well, one thing you do is build a moon base. If you're ever planning on doing a Mars mission, you got to stop off at the moon before you get to Mars.
Have we been to Mars?
we've landed a lot of rovers and we've landed a lot of landers on Mars, both us and other countries, but we have not had people there. No,
we don't have any monkeys going up there.
No, we don't send monkeys in space anymore. We don't send dogs in space anymore. Well, because for one thing, I think Peter would be upset by that.
What about cats?
I wouldn't have a problem with cats, but I mean, what the hell?
Or mice. Send mice off to Mars.
But that's the thing you got to be worried and upset about is the fact that, space program is basically atrophied and dying on the vine, while we sit here talking about it, not whether or not you see it in a movie, them planting a flag or not in a movie.
It's a flag.
I'm sure that there'll be plenty of shots of the flag on the side of the LEM and the flag on the side of the Saturn V going off.
See, the trail of the flag is on the moon.
Well, yeah.
Like, where's the planet?
Okay. Moving on. What's up with HBO?
HBO teasing. Next season of Westworld and Game of Thrones, 2020.
Well, why so long?
Westworld, they got to get the show together. In 2020, for Game of Thrones, they said we're holding out for the Emmy nominations for that year because it's the last season. We've only got 6 left. And so why should we rush to get these 6 overlong episodes out?
That's amazing that the show could drag on that long. People still care about it. I mean, really.
It's huge.
It's one of the things I complained about with JR with Doctor Who. I mean, you do 13 episodes a year, and after a decade or two, people are still supposed to care about it. I mean, there aren't enough episodes out there to get you from year to year to year. At some point, you concentrate on other stuff.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
That's what Netflix and HBO and streaming services are for.
You can only watch reruns for so long.
Well, you sort of have to.
Well, you have to, yeah, but at some point you go, no, I'm going to watch something else. I'm going to move on to something.
And then when the show comes
like
back,
the wonderful Iron Fist thing that we were watching on Netflix. Yeah.
Typhoid Mary. Yeah. A lot of fighting. A lot of punching.
Danny Rand, you have failed the city.
He's out there fighting crap.
Yeah, Danny Rand's looking an awful lot like Oliver Queen.
Wow, because both have facial hair.
Yeah,
why do they have facial hair?
They are busting their ass to make him look like Oliver Queen from Arrow. And you know what? Oliver Queen takes a lot more punishment than he does.
Oh, yeah,
in a week-to-week episode. And does more episodes. This is what, 13 episodes? 13-hour-long episodes?
No, actually I think it's 10. It's less.
Even better. Okay, 10 episodes as opposed to Arrow, which is what, a 23 episode, 26 hour long episode season. Yeah, Oliver Queen takes a lot more damage than Danny Rand does.
But he doesn't have a team.
Both of them have a team. What are you talking about? Well, Danny Rand's got a team.
Well, one person's not a team.
No, he's got Colleen Wing.
Yeah.
And he's got, what's her face?
Well, Misty's not. Well, Misty's hanging out with Colleen.
Well, she's spending an awful lot of time in this series this time around.
And Typhoid Mary, apparently.
Well, she's not a member of the team.
She's close.
She's not a member of the team.
Hanging out with him.
Yeah.
She's not a mutant in this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Danny Rand, you have failed this Netflix.
Cringe.
Okay, what's not popular?
You remember that most popular film award the Oscars going to do this year?
Yes, we talked about that in the past. That's a wonderful award where you take whatever the biggest box office hit was for the year and you give them an Academy Award.
Well, you're not getting it.
Good.
You got to wait till 2020. No, 2020.
You know what? If we're really lucky, this is one of those things I'll keep pushing down the road into infinity.
No. Laura Dern, Steven Spielberg, and the people at the Academy went, we're putting together a new category. We don't have a lot of time to work on this and come up with the rules, so why are we trying to push this until 2019? Why don't we wait till 2020? And so they pushed it back for another year. They also announced that 6 awards will be given during the commercial breaks in 2019. These 6 non-big deal awards will rotate from year to year. So you'll get a montage of the costume design, sound design, stuff like that. People were
so wait a minute. 1 year you'll see costume design, and then the next year you won't. They'll put something else in its place.
Right.
But the awards will still be there.
The awards will be given out. They'll be given out during the commercial breaks. But what you'll get is a clip of saying these awards are given out during this break, and you'll see them at the end of the show as some kind of montage. And they'll rotate the little minor awards, which are important to only the immediate family of the people who win them.
You know what fascinates me about that? There's politics behind that. About 20 years ago, the Academy took all of the visual effects awards, and they said exactly the same thing. We're going to get these things off the main broadcast. We're going to give them their own show, which won't be broadcast. It'll be like the night before, two nights before.
It's a luncheon.
It's a luncheon. We're going to give them their Academy Awards then. Best effects in sound editing as opposed to sound editing.
Right.
Best visual effects. Best catering truck, whatever it was. Everybody's awards used to show up on the Academy Awards, and then the categories started to add categories, like best visual effects.
Yeah.
So they ghettoed these things into a day before luncheon.
Well, it's a technical luncheon. The technical awards out there.
Okay.
Michael Chapman got one for inventing the Chapman crane. That was not a big show. That was like, okay, you won this because it's an award for you inventing stuff.
Well, the question I have is best costume.
Yeah.
That escaped that.
Yeah.
But now they're not being moved over into that luncheon for technical awards.
They're happening the same night.
Instead, they're being moved off into the commercial break.
Yeah.
Who is behind doing that? I mean, one, why isn't it just moved off into the day before luncheon? And two, if it's not being moved off into the day before luncheon, why is it being dumped into a commercial break and not even being shown at all? I mean, at least the technical ones, they film it.
Yeah, you can see it, and they show you footage of it the night of the awards.
Yeah.
But those are for people who do things that you don't normally think of, like the guy who invented a crane. The other awards are people who worked in something you're actually seeing in the movies. It's not a technical award. Well, it's a craft award.
No, the technical awards that they shoved off into the day before luncheon.
Yeah. I'm assuming costume design, sound editing, stuff like that will be shunted off.
Production design.
Yeah, that stuff will be shunted off into the commercial breaks because that's not when people are watching. They're watching for the big awards, and this is a minor award. This is an award given to people who are working in the industry. You know, Edith Head won costume design every freaking year. So it's like, do we really need to show Edith Head winning every freaking year?
How long is it going to be before that award is shuffled off into the luncheon the day before?
Well,
because it sounds like it's gradually heading off in that direction.
The idea is you want a 3-hour show, period.
Part of the 3 hours is comedy bits, most of which suck. When you come back from a commercial, there's a 5-minute bit.
Yeah.
Every commercial break, when you come back, there's at least a 5-minute bit.
But that means you're cutting down what the host is going to do. You're never going to do that because the host is a big deal.
No, it's not. Nobody gives a damn about Jimmy Kimmel, except ABC when it runs on ABC.
Well, but everyone.
But then he's nothing but an ad for ABC.
Well, of course he is. The same way as any other show.
Okay, but I mean, if the show was on CBS, it'd probably be Stephen Colbert.
Well, Neil Patrick Harris does the Tony Awards every year, and it's the same thing. They do bits. People are watching for that part of the show. They're not watching to see who won for people who made a costume for a movie.
Why don't they just shit can all the awards and do a 2-hour show about how wonderful movies were this year?
It's not. Then it's an infomercial.
What do you think the Academy Awards are turning into?
They are an infomercial.
They're an infomercial for Hollywood.
You know what? I win an Academy Award and my salary goes up.
Well, great. Okay, your salary goes up because you were the number one darling on the infomercial. I won
an award. So it's an award show.
Comic book news. The DC Universe Doom Patrol is coming to DC Streaming.
No, DC Universe. Don't call it DC Streaming. It's DC Universe.
But it's their streaming channel.
Yes, it's their streaming channel. But yeah, Doom Patrol, they're announcing all the casting. Timothy Dalton's playing Dr. Niles Calder.
That surprised the hell out of me, Timothy. Well, the one that surprised me was the one they announced before.
Well, Brendan Fraser's playing Robot Man.
Yeah, that surprised the hell out of me. Timothy Dalton, then after that, surprised me.
Well, Fraser's he's in the middle of a career renaissance. He's coming back. Dwayne Murphy's Negative Man. April Bowlby is the Lasty Woman. Diana Guerrero is Crazy Jane. The team will be put together by Jovian Wade. He's playing Cyborg, who's fighting Alan Tudyk's Mr. Nobody.
Jovian Wade from the last Doctor Who?
Yeah. Remember Clara's boyfriend?
Oh, Mr. Danny Pink.
That's Cyborg. He's putting the team together.
Wait a minute. Cyborg as in Teen Titans Cyborg?
As in Teen Titans Cyborg.
Teen Titans Cyborg was never in the Doom Patrol. He was in the Teen Titans, and he's not in Teen Titans.
He's not a member of the team. He gets the team to get back together.
So this is the same Cyborg that's in the quote-unquote Justice League movie.
Yes.
Hi, Rod.
Yes.
So he is showing up to put... I thought Chief put the team together.
Well, the team has been together, but the team has gone away for a while, and I guess Mr. Nobody comes up, and Cyborg, who's noticing all this stuff on the internet because he's hooked up to everything, goes, we need to bring the Doom Patrol back.
Okay, well, the obvious question is why not the Justice League? Since the only place anybody knows him from outside of comics is the Justice League movie.
Okay, but how are you going to afford a Justice League TV series on DC Stream?
You're not, but I assume that they will be mentioned.
Oh, they'll probably be mentioned, yeah.
So he will be that Cyborg from the Justice League.
Well, yes. We assume.
This is what's amazing. You can't stick Cyborg in the Teen Titans, but you can stick him in Doom Patrol.
Yes.
That makes no sense at all. I mean, I understand why they stuck him in the Justice League. They wanted to break up the visual makeup of the team.
The team was a little ethnically...
which they could have just as easily done with Jon Stewart, but what the hell. But you're shuffling him around like a pea under a cup. Now, where's he going to show up next? Where he belongs on the Titans.
Well, he's not on the Titans.
Apparently.
Well, season 2, maybe.
Okay.
If there's a season 2.
So, Danny the Street going to be on this thing?
No.
Well, what the hell? How does it do Danny the Street?
They're not going to use...
disembodied voice and a cutaway of a street.
They're not going to use most of the Grant Morrison stuff because...
Crazy Jane.
Crazy Jane's in the team.
Well, yeah, she was in the team.
She won't be as crazy. She'll be a little less crazy. She'll be TV crazy. They also announced this week that Abby Arcane is, remember the Falcone kid from Gotham?
The daughter. Yeah, the daughter.
She's playing Abby Arcane in the Swamp Thing.
Are they whitening out her hair?
Well, they just cast her, so God knows. But, yeah, so this thing, was it $9.95 a month? You can get it right now. You can buy a membership for $75 for the year.
When I hear Adventures of Superman or Batman 66 is on there, I will sign up. Until then, I don't care.
Animated stuff.
And I have all the animated stuff upstairs on my shelf. And, of course, my favorite Marvel show, which is now relegated down to 13 weeks, almost an afterthought on the schedule.
Well, it's a summer
13
show.
weeks.
No, it's a summer show.
Summer show, even more of an afterthought. Is S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Give me some news about S.H.I.E.L.D., Bo. Is anything going to happen this year?
Well, Deke Shaw has become a regular. Remember, Jenna and Fitz's grandson from another timeline, their kid.
Oh, yeah, the only one that anybody liked out of that list.
Clark Gregg's doing the season opener called Missing Pieces, and it's a 13-episode season, but ABC said that doesn't mean the show's over with. It means we're only ordering 13 episodes a year. The show's not done because we own the damn thing, and we're not going to end it. So if you expected it to be over after the 13, no, we'll just come back for season 7, another 13-week episode.
Any other media news?
Oh, well, Doctor Who. You know, you used to watch Doctor Who on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
When you watch
October the 7th, it'll be on Sundays.
It's moved 13 episodes.
Actually, it's 11.
11, even better, 11 episodes.
Oh, well, no. Actually, the guy producing it, he's been a little iffy about exactly the number of shows. So I think he said there's another episode coming after that point. But yeah, the show's moving from Saturdays to Sundays.
Okay, 11, but possibly 12
Possibly
episodes.
12.
Okay.
And a Christmas show.
And it's moving to Sunday nights.
Sunday nights.
Okay.
In 3 weeks.
Any reason why it's moving to Sunday nights?
BBC decided to move it to Sunday nights. You get a full-length trailer apparently on YouTube and everywhere else this week. You got a teaser, but you don't have a full trailer. You get a full trailer this year. You get to see all the weird stuff that's going on.
Yeah. Well, they've already dropped a couple of trailers. You know, introducing the
this will be like a big deal
of the
thing.
TARDIS
this will be showing people on the and maybe we'll even see the new TARDIS. But yes,
the interior.
Yes,
it would be interesting to see what her interior is going to look like.
And yeah, they won't refer to the fact that she's a female. They'll go, "Oh yeah, it's Doctor Who." So it's not like, "Oh, she's a female Doctor Who." No, she's just plain old Doctor Who.
That's fine. That's probably the way they ought to handle it. Because that's the type of thing, the more that they talk about it, the worse it'll get. Just do the character.
I'm a doctor.
Okay, because there's enough noise out there about her being a female. Just like if they'd pick someone who was darker skinned, that would have been just as upsetting to some people as a female doctor.
He'd been an Indian doctor.
That would be a bigger deal in England. Making her Doctor Who a female, that's a worldwide thing. I mean, you know, I don't know if we would care that much here in America if he was Indian or not.
Who cares?
You know, former colony of the empire and all that stuff. They have much larger problems with that than we do because that's their history. But anyway, it's probably a good idea that they don't talk about her. Okay, that's going to do it for media news. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it'll be time to throw down for some wrestling news. And we're going to take a break, but we'll be back right after this. Good grades deserve a reward, and at Alternate Reality, we make that an actuality. If you're a grade schooler in the Chicagoland area and you get a report card, then you're eligible to join our Good Grades Club. Each A gets you a 2% discount, and each B a 1% discount, up to a possible total of 25% off based on your grades for this marking period. Just bring in your current report card, and we'll issue you a Good Grades Club card, and every time you make a purchase, that's the discount you'll get. So stop by the store and get the discount you deserve for your good grades. And we're back. We just had All In our time about a week ago.
The billboard's still up.
Billboards will probably still be up.
Yeah, they'll probably sit there for a while.
Yeah, we have an election going on this November. I can guarantee you, come February, you'll still see billboards.
Still up.
Whoever wins or loses, you'll still see billboards.
Billboards, we didn't take them in.
So All In, from what I gather, I didn't go see it. You didn't go see it.
No.
But it was kind of popular.
They did the 0-hour broadcast on WGN America, and they averaged 200,000 viewers, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
The average attendance of the show was 11,263, which is making it the largest independent show, I think, in U.S. history. Producer Jerry Mercury was arrested the morning of the show because he was sleeping in his car outside the Marriott in Schaumburg, and he went, "Why are you sleeping in your car?" And he went, "Fell asleep in my car." "Oh, by the way, you have warrants in Florida, Joey." "Oh, I do?" "Yeah." "Was not in Chicago?" "Yeah, okay, you go." The pro wrestling tees people made almost $500,000 in the weekend. They sold over 20,000 T-shirts. The CM Punk autograph signing the day before went quite well. The main event had to be cut short per time. It was supposed to go 28 minutes. It went down to 12. People are complaining about the fact that the main event got cut down, but they were like...
Well, the show was 5 hours long, wasn't it?
It was 4.
4 hours.
It was 4 hours long. They were running long, and they said the show went long, so we had to cut it because we only had so much of a window. And the boys involved said that we may do a all-in part 2 because this was so successful. Chris Jericho showed up.
Called Stilling.
Yeah, Diamond Dallas Page showed up. A whole bunch of people popped up that hadn't been seen in a while. Yeah. Jericho did a swerve.
What'd he do?
I'm in Fozzy doing a show. Hey, how'd you get to Chicago?
Oh, okay. He told everybody he was doing a show with Fozzy.
Well, he was doing a show in Fozzy.
Yeah.
He did the show, then he got on a plane, and he flew here to do the bit.
Where was the show at, do you know?
The show was like in Michigan, somewhere close.
Oh.
Somewhere close.
I can't make it to Chicago because I'm in Michigan.
Well, he wasn't supposed to be on the show at all. So it was like he showed up like, hey.
What's a plane flight from O'Hare to Michigan, and where was the thing?
It was in
the Sears Center.
Yeah, Sears Center in the Hoffman Estates.
How far away is that from O'Hare?
Not that far, I don't think. It's pretty close.
So it takes what to fly from wherever you're at in Michigan to O'Hare?
Yeah, but Jericho likes
40
to
minutes.
swerve. So he said, I can't be at the show because I'm doing a concert.
Yeah.
And he was actually wore the makeup he was wearing for the show. He popped up it all in. Because he was supposed to be Pentagon, a Mexican wrestler. Oh. He took the mask off and it was Jericho on, with the Pentagon makeup on. So. But all in part 2's coming.
Most people who were in the industry, from what I read afterwards, were surprised that they were able to get it out on time.
Yeah.
Not that the show went up, which, the fact that they were able to get it up and mount it was just amazing. But it ran within the window they had, the satellite time they had.
Yeah.
They got out on time. Yeah, they had to cut the last match a bit, but they didn't go over.
No.
They didn't lose their window.
We're out of time. We gotta go.
Whenever the DVD of this thing comes out, it'll be a compact 4-hour show with a start and a finish, and it'll look like it runs smoothly. The ending will be a little quick, but it'll still happen.
Yeah, it will still happen. A couple cute things. You had Rey Mysterio come out as Wolverine. And Stephen Amell.
I saw that.
Stephen Amell apparently looked pretty good for a guy who doesn't wrestle for a living. They were quite impressed by everything Amell was doing.
Well, that's because Stephen Amell is not failing wrestling.
Yeah, it's true. He also did a band Terminator, which is not an easy move to do.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Danny Rand and Oliver Queen meet each other in a dark alley somewhere.
Mix them up. Have them in a fist fight. They both have green. They both have yellow.
Oh, no. Danny Rand just stands around a lot of yellow and green light.
Danny's got his yellow mask on.
Yeah, well, great. They're working the mask. Or the 15th Iron Fist series, we may actually have a costume.
It's a costume.
I'll be dead by then, and so will you. So we'll never see it, but what the hell?
It's not gonna happen. We're going to live forever.
So anything else about All In?
That was it. I'm assuming they'll announce the DVD home video release at some point. It'll go over quite well. I guess if you've got WG in America on your DVR, you can probably look at the 0 hour broadcast, which is the Battle Royal. Yeah. It's still there. It doesn't go anywhere. So.
Just keeps bouncing around. Huh?
Well, yeah, you had Billy Gunn and Billy Gunn's son were in that.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but positive feedback about things since it happened. It's amazing how they were able to pull this thing up. Kudos to them. They did a great job.
Yeah.
I hope that they are able to mount a second one. I think it's a no-brainer that they will be mounting one. I mean, I think that's obvious. Now, I don't know about their finances. I would assume when everything is said and done, they'll have made money off this thing.
Well, they pay for this out of their own pocket.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, they made money off it. Yeah. They sold tickets. They sold T-shirts.
Yeah, lots of T-shirts.
The meet and greets, I'm sure people had to pay for. They got part of that.
They got all that money.
So, I mean, when everything is said and done, it all shakes out. Yeah, I think that they'll probably make some money off it, which is good. Good for them.
Good.
Moving on. Neville.
Yes.
What is up with Neville?
He's finally free.
Free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last.
He hadn't been on TV since October, so he's been gone for almost a year.
Well, refresh everybody's memory. What was the problem with Neville in the WWE? He was the man who defied gravity, and then they switched him over to the cranky guy who's never
King of the Cruiserweights. Then they did last year's WrestleMania. He was not on the DVD. Keith Bond was a little annoying, and he was working a lot, and he was kind of getting frustrated and annoyed because you made Enzo the Cruiserweight champion. Stupid ass move, by the way. And so he's
what was wrong with Enzo being the Cruiserweight?
He couldn't freaking wrestle. He still can't.
That like it's a bad thing.
In fact, he said he'll never go back to wrestling again, and people went, well, you weren't really good in the ring in the first place.
Who, Enzo?
Enzo. Yeah.
Well, we've talked about Enzo before. I mean, he was talented on the mic, and he wasn't talented in the ring.
Yeah, he thinks he's going to be a rapper.
Which is why him and Big Cass work so well together. Neither of which are in the company anymore.
Yeah, both are gone. But Neville's...
They should team back up and go on indie circuit.
Actually, they talked to Big Cass. He said that he hasn't talked to him for quite a while. He doesn't think that's going to happen. Cass also said, I understand why I got fired, because I was doing a lot of dumbass crap.
There'll come a point where both of them are eating sardines out of a can, sitting at home watching TV, and one of them will have a spark go off in their head and go, you know, if I called this guy up, we could probably get together and make money on the indie circuit, and then they'll get back together. It depends on how long it takes that spark to kick off.
Oh, by the way, he's not Big Cass anymore. He's not Big Kaz. He's now Big C.
Big C.
He dropped the C. He dropped the AZ.
You keep working on that, Cass.
Yeah,
you'll find something that works.
But yeah, Neville can work anywhere he wants, and he can work under the name Neville because his last name is actually Neville.
Yeah.
So you can't say he can't. He could go back to Pac, which is what he was wrestling to before that point, but his name is actually Neville, so there's nothing stopping him.
Can he use the Neville level?
He can use anything. It's his name.
Can he say you are not on the Neville level?
It's his name. It wasn't copyrighted. It wasn't owned. I'm assuming the trademarks are gone, so he can wrestle anywhere he wants. At some point, he was going to go back, and they were talking, and it just didn't work out. And so he said, just let me go. And Triple H went, oh, just go. Just go. It's not worth this bus fighting, and you're sitting at home. And we're paying you to sit at home and do nothing, which is really stupid. You know, it's like, okay, I'm getting a check. Are you wrestling? No. What are you doing? I'm getting a check. What are you doing? I'm going to hang out with my family. But you're not wrestling. No, I'm just getting a check. The check shows up. I go to the bank. I cash the check.
He's got loads of talent. Why couldn't WWE come up with a program for him? I mean, I understand the whole Enzo thing and him being pissed off about that. But once you get to the point where Enzo's out the door, why didn't they just bring him back in?
Well, that would have made sense.
And run a program with him for 3-4 months.
Because the deal was he kind of felt unappreciated. And he said, you know, I'm doing all this work, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this. And you guys are sort of treating me like, you know, cattle. And so that's part of the reason he got annoyed as well.
Who wound up with the cruiserweight belt?
Who's got it right now? Cedric Alexander's got it right now.
So they just bypassed him altogether and they moved on to Cedric, huh?
Well, no. Neville was sitting at home collecting a check.
Well, yeah, they bypassed him. Well,
yeah. He wasn't there.
Well, once Enzo drops the belt, and they move him out the front door, somebody's got to get the belt.
Well, yeah, they were talking to Neville while
that would be the point to bring Neville back in.
And it did, and whatever they were talking about, it didn't really work out because Neville's like, you know, the way you guys are treating me, I don't really need to go back. I'll just sit here and wait for you to realize you have to just let me go.
They could have worked a whole program with it. Have him come back. I want my belt back. I'm going to defeat everybody to get my belt back. He beats everybody up. Gets the belt back. They push him. And by that point, his contract's up. They can decide whether or not they can renegotiate.
I would hazard a guess that when everything's all said and done in a year or so, it'll probably be back anyway. Because everybody comes. Triple H should go, come on back. Just come on back. What we did before, we won't do that to you.
Okay. Any more wrestling news?
That's it.
Okay. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined. Rod Flash himself will be here to do...
What?
The Rorschach test.
He is?
You betcha. Every Sunday is super at Alternate Reality with our Super Sunday Sale. Each Sunday we pick a different character, family, or publisher, and we discount all of their comics and trade paperbacks 25% off all day long. What we pick for the sale is different each week, but each Sunday you'll save 25% off. And that's all day long, all day Sunday, only at Alternate Reality. And we're back. It's time once again for the Rorschach test. I am going to give these gentlemen one word, phrase, name. Well, sorry. I'm trying to class you guys up a little.
Saints.
I'm going to give these gentlemen one word, name or phrase, and I want to find out the very first thing that they think of when they hear it. Bo, I'm not going to go with you this time. I'm going to go with Rod. And Rod, that word is Jim Cornette.
I love the man. I love Jim Cornette. the tennis racket.
Why do you like Jim Cornette?
The tennis racket and the mom. Jim Cornette is now basically that old guy who knows where all the bodies are buried down in wrestling.
And he has no fear.
And he does not care what you do to him. And he may be like, 220 pounds soaking wet. And he dares you to stop him from saying it.
He's the old man saying, get off my damn lawn.
I just saw the podcast that Tim put up on there about what he said his top 5 hated people. And the number one person on there, that was the funniest thing I heard in a long while. Where you actually threaten a guy and say, I have $5,000, meet me here, and I will kick your blank, 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 blank.
Well, yeah, but he knew Russo wasn't going to show up because Russo's a chicken.
Well, that was number one on his list. Yeah. It's out there on YouTube. It's Jim Cornette's poopy list, and it's top 5 people on his poopy list, and Vince Russo was number 1, and he worked his way up over the course of 50 minutes. It's 50 minutes long. It's basically just a podcast. That's all it is. But
He works his way up, and I listened to that whole thing, and let me tell you something. When he gets to number 1, Vince Russo, he slips into a totally different gear. Not that he's not good in the first 4, but he slips into a totally different gear for that one.
This is hatred.
And he is flying on that.
I do give him credit for one thing he did, though. He sort of brought the tag team division to prominence with 2 guys, the Midnight Express. And I remember specifically every Saturday night watching WCW wrestling, and Jim Cornette come on and said, "Hey y'all, we're gonna debut this brand new wrestling move. You can't do it now because you end up killing the person now. But back then, these moves would sit up there and you go, man, how the heck you come up with something like that?" And Cornette used to have me cracking up when he used to always get on the microphone and say, "Well, my mama told me to do this, and she's not going to pay for this no more."
Well, yeah, because that was the bit. He was a mama's boy. Mama paid for everything. Mama paid for the suit. Mama paid for the tennis racket.
Well, he was a heel.
Yeah, he was a heel.
He's better as a heel than a face.
Well, he was a horrible face.
But now he's getting to the point where he's just basically saying, you know what? The curtain's back. Everybody don't come to me saying, "Oh, is it wrestling figure funny?" Nobody cares about that now. It's whether it's entertaining or not. I give Jim Cornette credit for just basically saying, you know what, whatever.
He's very much purist with what he does, but a purist back in the 80s when he first started. That form of wrestling, he's very much a purist for that, and very much not sports entertainment type guy. Although there was always sports. It was always sports entertainment. I mean, hell, the red suit and Mama paid for all this stuff and the tennis racket. That's entertainment, folks. Yeah. I mean,
they had a horseshoe in the tennis racket.
But that's a bit.
Yeah, the big goofy glasses.
Yeah, that's a bit. That's a bit, and that is ultimately what sports entertainment is. Him complaining about that, I wouldn't bitch too loud about that, Jim, because you're a walking version of that on some level. Not as bad as what you're complaining about. But
he's living his gimmick.
What about you, Bo? Jim Cornette,
man who's involved in the worst scaffold match ever.
Oh, that's what you think of?
Oh, yeah,
the worst scaffold match ever.
Yeah, because he wasn't a wrestler. Yeah, he was completely out of shape. He went up on top of a scaffold, fell off, and broke both his ankles.
Ow! Ow!
And I remember hearing about that. I remember seeing it and going, why would you do something like that? Scaffold matches by nature are dangerous as hell because you have no control over anything that happens when you're up that high. Yeah. And you're going to drop so far. So why would your 5'9", 225-pound ass get up on a scaffold, not be able to get off and fall off and break your ankles on
because he took one for the team.
He took one for the team.
That was the storyline.
He took one for the team. He said, "I gotta get off. I gotta get off." Oh my God! What happened? Oh my God! And old school. He's one of the last old school guys. And he's limited his gimmick. He's not as cranky as we think he is. Most of that's a bit.
Yeah, it's if you listen to his podcast, I am sure that a lot of, not discounting what it is he says, not the actual facts of what he says, but the way in which he's presenting it, a lot of that he's still doing his Jim Cornette heel character as he does it. I mean, if you've watched wrestling for any length of time at all, you've seen Jim Cornette as a heel and as a face, and he has 2 different speeds for that. He's not a face very often, but he has been one.
No, he's better. He's better as a heel. He's also a guy who's burned his bridges in a lot of places. Mm-hmm. He can't go to Canada. Ever. Ever.
I read that.
Because he's threatened to beat people up and been arrested for assault, and so he can't go to Canada. He's not allowed in Canada at all.
The reason why he left TNA.
Yeah, he couldn't. Yeah, because they moved to Canada, and he couldn't go.
I can't go to Canada.
He can't. He's not allowed. He's not allowed in the country. He's on the list.
He's a man of great emotions.
He's a man of great emotions. He hasn't really nuked his bridges with the WWE. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but I think there was a point where Vince and crew are like, yeah, he's cute because he's just being himself, and we don't really get that worked up over it.
Well, he's inducted people into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's done that.
I mean, it's not like he's persona non grata at the WWE. And when I listen to the podcast, he seems to have, I mean, he doesn't candy coat a lot of stuff, but he doesn't go after the WWE. No. I mean, he's not happy with some stuff, and I think it's stuff that Vince is very well aware of, but he never attacks anybody at the WWE. I mean, he's not crazy about Triple H, I know that, but he doesn't get out there and rip Triple H a new butthole. Not like he does Vince Russo. Okay, if Vince Russo was running the WWE, he would never be allowed back in the front door.
No, never have.
So he doesn't go nearly that far when he's talking about the WWE today. But he's still pretty honest with what he has to say. He just softens it more. He candy coats it a little more.
He's nicer.
Yeah, he's nicer. And the flip side of that is, he's been to the Hall of Fame, and he's inducted at least 2 people, I think, in the history of the Hall of Fame.
Did he put Ricky and Robert in the Hall of Fame? Was he there for that? The Rock and
Roll Express, I think he did.
Yeah.
Didn't he do Jeff Jarrett in this last year?
No, Road Dogg did Jeff.
Road Dogg did. That's right, Road Dogg did.
And at some point, Cornette, you're running out of people to put in the Hall of Fame, so I'm assuming Cornette's on that.
I'm surprised he didn't put Sting in there, because he was the one who told Sting, you don't need to tag no more. You need to go step up. Yeah. If you want to be as big as Hogan, you need to step up.
If you're going to talk about somebody to put Sting in the Hall of Fame, it had to be Flair.
Well, yeah, and that's what he told him. In order for you to step up, Sting, you need to make yourself out to be a superhero. And I remember that switch over from Sting, a tag team guy, over to Sting, the blonde hair, pink tights and makeup screaming guy. Yeah. And basically people just went nuts for it.
So that's it for Jim Cornette.
That's it for Jim Cornette.
Okay, and that's it. We're done with Finish. We're out of here. We got no more time for any more show, but be sure to go to the store's website, myalternatereality.com, where you will find more of JR's reviews. You'll find Bo's news. You'll find shipping. You'll find my sales. You'll find just a little bit of everything there at myalternatereality.com. Of course, you'll also find my YouTube shipping videos, so be sure to stop off there. Until next time.
Bo, you got any final thoughts?
Be ready.
Ready for what?
October's got 2 huge cons coming up, so there'll be a bunch of news going on.
Here in Chicago?
Well, one here
in
Chicago.
The Windy City?
One here in Chicago, which will be taking place at Navy Pier, and you've got the New York Con the first weekend of October, which will be weird because usually it's the second weekend. They moved it up, so...
But that'll be in New York.
Well, yeah.
But a lot of news will come out of it.
A lot of news will come out of that. Apparently something huge coming on in Daredevil, which will be announced. And a bunch of stuff. And I guess we'll have to find out who the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men team is, because we don't have the official team yet. And a bunch of new books are supposed to be announced.
Okay. Have they expanded the guest list anymore for that? What is it, Ace thing?
Ace. Oh, well, the guest list is pretty big. The list is pretty big as it is. I don't know how much more people can put in it.
They're pushing Brolin, Evans, and
Hiddleston.
And
Hiddleston will be here.
Yeah, they're pushing. They're at like the top of the list.
Yeah.
I know that Lucifer's going to show because he's in the second tier.
Yeah, he's here. Yeah, Tom Ellis is coming here as well.
We're trying to make him feel great. I've got 2 seasons of a TV series under my belt. I'm in second tier.
A bunch of wrestlers are coming. Roman Reigns, Alexa Bliss, and whoever's in town, I guess. And a bunch of media stuff, and they're going to have panels for this thing.
Well, that'd be nice.
Well, yeah, it'll be comic panels. It won't be like, hi, I talk to the celebrity panel. It'll be actual comic panels. So you'll have industry professionals coming in to talk to you about stuff.
Well, I'm sure there'll be meet and greets, too.
And
you pay $25 for a photograph.
Yeah, you shake, you can, and Dave Bautista's going to be here. So we can talk to him about James Gunn. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, you got any thoughts on James Gunn?
Yeah, I like him. Screw Disney. Okay.
Well, that's great.
That's about it.
Okay, until next time, this is Comicbookman. Bo?
This.
Anything you want to say to the folks?
Nothing.
Vapor lock, huh?
No comment. No comment.
Okay.
I'm anonymous.
And this is me saying bye!
Thanks a lot for listening. If you enjoyed this show, please like and share it with all your friends. We value your feedback, so drop us a question, comment, show idea, or complaint either at arcomics@msn.com or, if provided, in the comments section down below on this platform. The opinions expressed in this episode are solely those of the individuals and not necessarily those of Alternate Reality Incorporated. This show is, as always, coming to you from the Alternate Reality Comic Shop, located in the heart of beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie, serving Chicago comics fandom since 1994.
You want to take it from the top?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay.